Get down.
What's up, people of YouTube? ShufflinZombie here, and today I'm bringing you a Redstone basics tutorial, kind of. This is just a little introduction to all of the items that are kind of operated or have something to do with redstone. So, pistons and sticky. This is a piston. This is a sticky piston. This is a remember, guys. This is a very basic redstone tutorial. So if you already know stuff about redstone, don't watch this because you'll get really bored. But so all the redstone, we have all the stuff that can be affected by redstone right here that I could find, that I can think of. But we have a piston and a sticky piston. Basically, they're pistons. I mean, when you supply power to them, they raise up. Pretty simple. They just raise up. Sticky pistons. What's different about them, though, compared to say normal pistons, is that sticky pistons, compared to normal pistons, they will just push that block up, but it won't bring it back down. Sticky pistons will bring that block back down, so the block is like stuck to them. Okay. Then we have a note block, which probably a lot of you guys know about. It makes a noise, and since that piston's connected to it, that's why it's doing that. CD player, which I guess really isn't redstone, but you need redstone to make it. You know, CD player, you just throw a CD in there and it works. I'll show you that in a minute. Actually, it's probably a bad idea to have that here. Powered rail for minecarts. Makes you go faster. Normal rails, and then detector rails, which when you have a minecart go over a detector rail, it supplies a current. So just like that, it'll supply current. Levers, another form of power, just like the redstone torch. So a redstone torch and a lever is basically the same thing. They do the exact same thing. So like if you did that, you can turn that on too. Pressure plates, ways to turn things on. Buttons, which turn on, or which is just another way to turn stuff on, so you know, whatever. Trapdoors are affected by redstone. Iron doors you can only open with redstone. Wooden doors you can open either way. Trapdoors you have to open with redstone. So basically, that's all the redstone elements or blocks that can be affected by redstone. So the three. Oh, and I guess I'll show you the TNT. Since I'm here, it's TNT. It explodes. Creates a nice size crater in the ground, about twice the size of a creeper explosion, I would say. Okay, so basically, the three main redstone things are: one, redstone dust, which when it's in the ground it looks like this. Redstone ore, that's what it looks like. And then that's what you get this redstone dust from it. And when you lay it down, it lays it down in a line like that. And basically that's just, it's electricity basically. It transmits the current. So right here, it would transmit that current to this block of TNT, for example. Actually, makes sense. But so that's what you find it. That's where you find it. This is called a redstone repeater. It acts as a repeater. It will repeat the current. It also acts as a diode, which means that the power can only go through it one way. So, like, look at watch. So if I have power going into it from this end, it goes through the arrow and out the other end. But if I have it through this end, and since it's against the arrow, it won't go through the repeater. So it acts as a diode, a repeater, and then also a delay, because you can change how long it takes for the time to change. So watch that redstone line, and you'll see how much of a delay there is. See how there's a couple seconds of delay between, well, a couple ticks is what it's called. But one tick is what it's set at right now, so it's one tick below, or one tick after. 2 ticks, 3 ticks, and then 4 ticks is the max. So that's what that is. Then a redstone torch is basically just a constant supply of power. So it'll constantly supply any redstone that's hooked up to it or anything. You know, anything like that. repeater, anything that's hooked up to it, that a redstone torch will supply power to that. So basically, I'll show you the properties of a redstone torch now. Whenever a redstone torch is anything like that, it powers stuff above it too. Anything like this doesn't power stuff adjacent to it though, or well, corner. Diagonally, it has to be right next to it, just like that, or above it. But for sure it works like this. Yeah. Oh, it's just because. Hang on. Yeah, it also works like that. So anything that's on the side, right next to it, below it doesn't work though, but I'll show you that in a second why that doesn't work. So anything, it can be above it, next to it, like kind of like on the side, or right like next to it, I guess, or up above it on the side. I don't know what I'm gonna call it. But how to turn off a redstone torch, basically. All you gotta do, you just do something like this, and supply some power to that. So when redstone torches receive power, they turn off. So I can show you that right now again. So normally, if you have this lever off, this redstone dust will be powered, and this because of this redstone torch. But then when you turn this lever on, it supplies power to this redstone line, which turns off this redstone torch, which turns off this redstone dust. So that's basically the properties of all the different redstone. Redstone can travel down blocks in like a staircase fashion. So just like this. Not like that. Just like a staircase. So it supplies power all the way down. You can't go up you can't go up 2 blocks or anything. And then if you cut it off, if you put a block above it, it cuts it off, it cuts off the current, and then after that it'll turn anything off after that. But you know, yeah. So if you cut it off, then it gets cut off. So say you wanted to turn off the redstone torch, you know, you would just put your line going up to it, and like another staircase. I guess I could have left that. So it powers this redstone line, which then runs into this block, which the torch is on, and turns the torch off. I set it to daytime now? Okay. So a bunch of things you can do with it. Like I showed, redstone lamps is a way of doing it. Well, it's because it's going to the stupid button instead. Redstone lamps also triggers stuff like trapdoors, which it needs to be going into, straight into like that. It also trigger doors. Whoops. Yeah, basically. Pressure plates. I'll show you pressure plates now. Basically, pressure plates are very, very simple. They're just basically like stuff that gets triggered when you stand on them. I'll show you wooden pressure plates and also the stone pressure plates. So basically, wooden pressure plates, they just, you know, open stuff up. Stone pressure plates, for purposes like this, exactly the same thing. They just supply power to the nearest thing. So, you know. They turn on redstone current also. Mainly used for opening doors, I would say. People use it a lot for opening doors. But the difference between a stone pressure plate and a wooden pressure plate is you can drop something on a stone pressure plate and it won't turn on. But say you drop something on a wooden pressure plate, it will turn on. So entities can turn on wooden pressure plates when entities cannot turn on stone pressure plates. That's basically what you gotta know about that. Minecart rails, basically pretty simple. TNT, just when it supplies redstone current, it turns on, explodes after like 7 ticks or something. So now I'm going to show you a basic thing. It's called an inverter. And basically all it does is it inverts the signal. So you have your signal right here. You have your signal like this. Well, I guess I'll show you the repeater also right quick. Okay, so say right here, this is 15 blocks away from that torch, or 16 or something like that. But then the current dies out, so this won't supply anything. Oopsies. See, it won't supply any current to this door. But when you do it right here, oh, it's just because I gotta set it right. See, it'll open that door. But when you get your current like down here, when it's shut off, it will not open your door. See, I'm just refreshing or resetting it. But if you do where there is power, it'll open your door, basically. So it's very simple. That's how they work. But that's how the power dies out. But right here, when it's like the last block that has power, and you can tell that it has power because it's kind of there's stuff coming off of it. If you put in a repeater, it'll repeat the signal again, and only have a 1 tick delay. So then you'll be able to open your door from farther away. So if you powered it right here, you could do this with a lever too, or anything. It's gonna open your door. But if you had, say, redstone instead, it would not open your door. So that's basically what a repeater does, as in repeater. Now for an inverter. So right here, you have your line, okay? And you have your input, which is power that's coming out, but you want, say, this door to be, so you want this door to be closed most of the time, okay? But you need this power here, but like, well, you would just want it switched over, okay? So if you put in what's called an inverter, which is very simple, it's just a block and then a torch, it just inverts your current. So then if you turn this off, it would power that on. So one more time, an inverter, you just take your redstone line, take out 1, take out 2, and block, and then torch in the way that it's going. So you'd have to have like that, and there you go, that's an inverter. So when you turn that power off, this one powers and turns on the redstone current, which opens up a door, turns on a redstone lamp, powers a minecart, track, anything. Possibilities are endless. Many things you can do with these different redstone elements. Minecart tracks, their own little thing. You can make minecart stations, all that kind of stuff. Note blocks, you make music. Sticky pistons and pistons, good for just like opening secret doors and stuff. So like kind of like my 3x3 spiral door tutorial. You need sticky pistons to open up those. Basically just redstone lamps is just a source of light. Buttons again. So here, I'll show you again. The 3 things that supply power would be a torch, a lever, and a button. And then pressure plates. I'll show you those too. And then also pressure plates, if I can get the other one out here. So we have a torch, a lever, a button, and then the 2 pressure plates, and that's it. That supplies actual power. And then detector rails when they have a minecart on them. Sorry, that's my dog. He distracted me. Okay, so basically, redstone torches, I mean, they have a consistent supply of power once they have power going to them, or I mean under them, like that. Once they have power going to them, it's a consistent supply of power. Levers have a consistent supply of power when they're turned on, so they can either be turned on or off just by flicking it. A button has a pulse to it, so it turns on for about a second and it turns off. So as long as the button is depressed is how long the redstone line is turned on for. Exact same thing with pressure plates, except it's on the ground. It's just while there's somebody standing with a stone pressure plate, when there's someone standing on it, it's powered. When they step off it, it stays in for a second, then comes back up and turns it off. And then with wooden ones, again, same thing. If there's anybody standing on it, it stays. Or if there's an entity on it, it'll stay forever. Until the entity despawns, of course. So that's basically the things that you can supply power from. That's about it for like the super basic things. So these are the things that can be edited using redstone. Well, I've taken a couple out, but there's like TNT, some lever, that's another redstone thing. The other's piston. So yeah, there's a lot of things that can be edited by redstone or changed. Their properties are changed. One other property of redstone and also glowstone is redstone can travel down a block, okay, like that. It goes down it. But if you go down on glowstones, like right here, and if you try to power that, whoops, power it, this won't turn on. Okay, so the redstone or glowstone cuts off the current, so that current can't go down on glowstone, but it can go up it. So with glowstone, redstone current can go up, but not down. So that's a property of glowstone with redstone. That was a newer update kind of thing. Pretty sure because I was not a... Gotta check in. That wasn't an update because I know that there's some maps that have, like custom maps. I know that some, if they aren't updated, they'll have this sometimes. I got one time that had it like that and I had to go fix it. But redstone current will go up it, it just won't go down it. So it's like that. So that's basically basic redstone tutorials. Basic redstone tutorial. I'll have more redstone tutorials later. But yeah, this has been ShufflinZombie 1314. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, rate, favorite, all that stuff. If there's anything else you want help with, any other tutorials, any other redstone things, as long as they aren't super complicated, I'm talking like easy to moderate, because I'm no etho or anything. I'm pretty good. No Seth Bling. Seth Bling. If you want some amazing stuff, go check out Seth Bling, Ethos Lab, CNB Minecraft. He has some pretty good stuff. He does tutorials on all of those. Cube Hamster, he's really good. Just go check out their channels. They have really good redstone stuff. But any basic stuff you want, just tell me and comment below and I'll do a video on it. So, see you guys.